Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Warriors get good news on Steph Curry injury recovery. Golden State Warriors star Stephen Curry took the first major step in his bid to return in the Western Conference semifinals against the Minnesota Timberwolves after sustaining a grade 1 left hamstring strain in Game 1. According to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, Curry went through a pretty strenuous workout 90 minutes before the Warriors took a 102-97 loss in Game 3 on Saturday at Chase Center. The loss was a major blow for the Warriors, who failed to hold on to a 6-point lead early in the fourth quarter in their effort to stay afloat while awaiting Curry's return. With the Warriors staring at a 2-1 series deficit, the clock is ticking away for Curry. Slater reported that Curry didn't push it to full speed, according to a team source. He's yet to burst or cut or test that left hamstring in a manner that'll deliver him and Rick Celebrini, the team's lead medical decision-maker, the true information they'll need on whether the hamstring is healed enough to return deeper in this series. But he went through a medium-speed shooting routine and rode the stationary bike. This was a notable advancement for Curry in his race against time. Curry looked helpless on the Warriors' bench late in Game 3, as their lead disappeared with Draymond Green fouling out inside the final 456 of the close contest. Curry will not be back until at least Game 6. ESPN Shams Charania reported he's really been limited to just doing treatment, and he's going to be re-evaluated on Wednesday, which means he's definitely out Games 3 and 4. So he's going to miss at least 3 games. Charania said on the Pat McAfee show on Friday. My understanding is he's probably not going to return at any point until Game 6 at the earliest. Game 5 is on May 14th, while Game 6, if necessary, is on May 18th. And there's actually a 4-day gap between Game 5 and 6. Charania said it's a weird scheduling, but no, the NBA didn't do this because Steph Curry got hurt. The NBA had already made the schedule some alignment with the WNBA team there in the Bay. But because of that, they're able to have that period of time. So maybe you get Stephen Curry back there. But the Warriors have to at least split the next 2 games to give Curry a shot at returning in the series. Despite the Game 3 loss, Golden State coach Kerr was encouraged by the effort he saw from his Curryless Warriors. "We're right there," Kerr told reporters after their narrow Game 3 loss. "We feel great about our chances. This is what the playoffs are all about. There's these emotional swings and momentum shifts, and we just got to take tomorrow off and get the guys refreshed, recharged, and come back in Monday and tee it up again." It was much closer than their 117-93 loss in Game 2, their first game in the series without Curry. "I felt really good about the way the game went tonight. We just couldn't close it out," Kerr said. "But we controlled much of that game. We were up 6 or whatever it was with 8 minutes to go. And I liked where we were. We just couldn't finish. So the formula looks good. We'll have some adjustments to make, but I like the matchup. I like what we're doing." Jimmy Butler makes bold demand to Steve Kerr before Game 4. After taking a 1-0 lead in the second round of the 2025 NBA playoffs, Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors were forced to rule out Steph Curry for the next few games, raising concerns about the team's postseason outlook. Game 2 wasn't pretty for the Jimmy Butler Warriors. They lost by 24 points. But on Saturday, Golden State kept it much closer before falling to Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves 102-97. In Game 3, falling into a 122 hole. With Curry out for a second straight game, Butler did everything he could to keep his team afloat. However, the former Miami Heat star's efforts fell short as the Timberwolves gained the lead with just under 7 minutes to play, never looking back. Butler finished the night with a team-high 43 minutes, tallying 33 points on 12 of 26 shooting, 7 rebounds and 7 assists. According to ESPN's own Young Sack, Kerr would have preferred to give Butler more rest in Game 3, but with Curry sidelined, that wasn't realistic. Butler, meanwhile, pushed for more playing time, asking his coach to let him play the full 48 minutes going forward. Steve Kerr said in hindsight he would have loved to have gotten Jimmy Butler a few more minutes of rest. Young Suk wrote on X, but without Steph Curry, Kerr has to run away the risk of any minutes without Jimmy on floor. Kerr says Jimmy wants to play 48 minutes, and he probably has to protect Jimmy. While none of the other Golden State starters stepped up in Game 3, backup forward Jonathan Kuminga had one of his better playoff performances, tallying 30 points and 6 rebounds in 36 minutes. Draymond Green fouling out with 438 to play also did not help the Warriors' chances. Former NBA champion cited as ideal target for Miami Heat. It's no secret that the Miami Heat needs an influx of fresh talent. Eric Spoelstra's team isn't at the required level to be viewed as a contender. In truth, the Heat are likely multiple years away from being back near the top of the Eastern Conference. According to Enzo Flojo of Clutch Points, Jonathan Kuminga could be a wise target this summer. Kuminga is heading into restricted free agency. As such, the Heat would either need to overpay via an offer sheet, or look to sign the explosive forward via sign-and-trade with the Golden State Warriors. If the Heat want to swing for upside without compromising financial flexibility, then restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga is an ideal target, Flojo wrote. At just 22 years old, Kuminga is still scratching the surface of his potential. Miami could be the perfect environment to unlock it. Miami typically pursues established stars. However, Kuminga represents a calculated gamble with a potentially big payoff. He would fit alongside Adabo defensively, can run the floor with Harrow, and still has room to grow under the watchful eye of Spoelstra's development staff. Kuminga is currently impressing for the Warriors in their second-round matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nevertheless, he has struggled to crack the Warriors' rotation this season. Steve Kerr has found it difficult to give Kuminga consistent playing time, especially since Jimmy Butler arrived in the Bay Area. During a recent news conference, Pat Riley discussed Tyler Herro's improvements and his importance to the franchise moving forward. He's 25 years old. He's coming off an All-Star year, and he was voted in by the coaches. Riley said that means something. And so he's pivotal for us as an offensive player. We just need more around him that can do a little bit of what he does because now he's getting beat up. He's getting schemed, overly schemed, and so we'll learn a lot about that. So Tyler is a player, and I hope he can stay here the rest of his career, and then we can build the team that he's part of. Harrow is a core member of Miami's roster. However, he isn't the level of talent needed to spearhead the Heat's return to prominence. As such, we should expect Miami to be active in its search for another All-Star. That pursuit is unlikely to change even if Kuminga moves to South Beach. On April 28, during a news conference, Heat center Bam Adebayo shared his expectations that Miami will make some roster moves during the summer. "There's going to be a lot of changes this summer," Adebayo said. "Just from my point of view, understanding how the guy with the silver hair works. Just be prepared for that. Riley will likely keep his cards close to his chest. However, given the state of the Heat's current roster, it's fair to expect some significant moves. The only thing we can know for sure is that Spoelstra will likely be coaching a vastly different roster by the time the 2025-26 season begins." And you fan, what do you think about Jonathan Kuminga's situation? Write to us in the comments.